What is the single most liberating thought that you've ever had? It's okay to make a mistake, stop, reevaluate, and do something else. Realizing there's a difference between that and quitting was pretty freeing. No one really cares that much about me. After realizing that, I worried a lot less about what people thought. When I was in the 4th grade, my homeroom teacher Mr. Olson could be a stickler for grammar. If a student asked something like, "Do we have to write double-spaced on this assignment?" he would reply, "All you have to do is die. I am asking you to double-space." Or if someone said, "Do I have to put my coat in the closet?" Again, the answer was, "All you have to do is die." At first I thought he was just making a weird adult joke and I didn't understand it. But over the school year, I thought about it more and more. I remember one night laying in bed and turning it over in my head. I thought, there are lots of things you have to do, like obey the law. And obey your parents. But then I also knew that some people didn't obey the law, or their parents. So I thought, you have to obey God. But I knew from the stories in the Bible that many people didn't obey God. But God could punish them. He could punish them in a way that forced them to stop disobeying. But the only way to do that would be if they died. So I thought, you have to breathe and eat and sleep. There's the answer. But then I realized you could choose not to. And you would die. And Mr. Olson was right all along. All you have to do is die. And that's how I became a 10-year-old existentialist. I was in a hardware store, picking up some stuff to fix my sink, and I noticed that I can have a blowtorch for about $25. And there are no responsible adults present to say I'm not allowed to have that, I can just buy it. So now I have a blowtorch. I have blown up more things than is advisable since then. Not completely healthy maybe, but I was depressed and suicidal for a year or two, and after an attempt I bailed on. I just thought, fuck it. I could have been dead already, just go for it, for lots of things. Recognizing that most people are only pretending to care about you, and the minute you're not around them, you're an afterthought at best. It's driven me to live my life for me, my wife, and my kids, which has turned out to be pretty good for us. Life is finite. No matter what I do, I'm not getting out of this game alive. How then, if I'm lucky, do I want to look back on the life I've lived when I'm laying on my deathbed? I find this motivating to chase my dreams. That I can say, no, to my mom and my world won't immediately fall apart. That not giving a fuck doesn't have to be destructive or angry. It can simply be a refusal to assign my energy, time, or reaction to any stimuli I deem unworthy. After months of having the thought there's no point in living going round and round in my head from the moment I opened my eyes to the moment I closed them, I suddenly came across a new thought. But there's no point in dying. Just because I had horrible ends to the relationships early in my life, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. And I deserve love too. Just as much as anyone else. A hard thing to forgive is yourself. When someone is genuinely interested in you, they will make time. When they aren't, they won't. A few years ago I read a book called Sapiens about the history of mankind from a unique point of view. The book began by pointing out that everything around us, excluding things created by Mother Nature, are things we made up. From the shape of things like furniture and tools to laws to transportation to even food in his modern era. This means that everything we made up, we can change. No matter how important you think you are to your workplace, you are replaceable. Watching my boss, a 25-year specialized psychiatrist, get unceremoniously dumped out of the public sector, immediately made me reevaluate my work-life balance. Never felt so good, and my quality of work has improved as a happy coincidence.